How are we all doing, mashallah? Now, today we are going to revise on all our topics which we have treated, inshallah. Now, today we're going to start with comparing of numbers, which is the less than, the greater than, and the equal to. Now, we said the less than, this with the signs mean, that's on our hand, we did it in the class, the left hand side, we use our left hand for the less than, and we use our right hand for the greater than. And I said you can see the picture over there, that's an indicator there. We said the mouth is widely open and ready to eat the bigger number, but it's pointing away from the smaller number. Now, it's pointing away from the smaller number means we have, example, we have 3 greater than 5, which means 3 is smaller than 5, using that sign, right? Now, the next one is the signs greater than. The alligator opens his mouth widely to eat up the bigger number. Now, when it eats up, the mouth is now fixing the bigger number. Now, which means 7 is bigger than 2. Very good. And the equal to. The equal to means when the two numbers are the same. Inshallah. And we have a challenge for you. Let's look at an example. We have 12, and on the other side we have 12. What are we going to use? Is it the greater than? Is it 12 greater than 12? Or 12 less than 12? Or 12 equal to 12? Yes, the answer is correct. What do you think it's going to be equal to? Now you have quiz time, which you're going to, for every quiz time, you answer and you send it to the comments section, inshallah. Let's look at the 2D shapes. We have, or when you look around us, we have 2D, different 2D shapes. And we have the cycle, which is round and no straight lines on it, right? And there is no equal lines. And so now the next one, we have square, which we have 4 equal sides, and we have 4 angles, which are exactly the same. Now we have the triangle, which when you count them, how many lines does it give you? It have 3 sides and 3 angles. Now we have the rectangle, which have 4 sides, but the opposite sides are equal. The other side here are not the same. Then you have your quiz time. What is this shape called? Let's test your detective skill. What shape has exactly 3 sides? I want to know what shape has exactly 3 sides. Get it right? Final shape, your final shape challenge. Now we all eat pizzas, right? Now a yummy pizza slide often looks like a, what shape is that? Please let me know. How many sides does a rectangle have? Now the next one is data. We have looked at data patterns and measurement. So we'll start looking at data first. Data collection. Yeah, what is data? Collecting of data, right? Now, how do we collect data? We can collect data in many fun ways. Now, one easy way of doing that is by questioning and counting your answers. Now, you ask questions like, you be asked questions, what are your favorite color? What are your favorite animals? Your favorite foods, and so on. Now, the next one, you count answers by asking your friend, your family, and playing a fun game. It's nice. And we gather information. We said there are so many ways of gathering information. There are so many ways of gathering information. We say we collect, we can create a list. That's by solving. We can create a list of questions to ask our friends. This is a great way to get lots of opinions. We have tallies. We have done tallies using lines, right? Maths to get. We use lines, or we use math, like making one line for each pet, just to keep track of our answers. Now we have observation. Sometimes we can just watch and count what we see. For example, counting how many birds visit the bird feeder, or sometimes counting how many grains of food while before you cook. You count the grains of food and say how many, if that's beans and soup. That's how we get our data. Now you have question time, quiz time. You're going to answer this again. How can you collect data as your friend's favorite food? Now, are you to eat all the fruits yourself, or you to ask your friend what's their favorite food are, or you are to draw a picture of your different fruits? Now you answer that at the comment section too. Now the next one is creating pattern. We said patterns are everywhere. There are things that repeat in a special way. We can act and make our own patterns, right? Just by following a rule. It's like making a secret code that repeats itself on and on again. Now we have A, B. You want to create a pattern, and we gave example in the class. We have A, B. The next pattern will be what? A. Very good. Now we have 1, 2, 1, 2. The next pattern will be 1. And we have triangle, cycle. The next one will come triangle. So that is pattern, and you follow the rule. If your rule is A, B, then if A is clap and B is snap, you do what? Clap, you do what? Sorry, clap, snap. That is it. Now we'll go to the quiz time. I have questions for you which you answer. When you answer them, you put them at the comment section. Inshallah, please. What comes next in this pattern? Star, heart, star. What comes next, please? Then the next one is, what is the rule for each pattern? You write the rule for each pattern. Sorry. Here we have our ordinal numbers. After the measurements, look at measurements, measuring with form non-standard, and we said what and what do we use for non-standard measure. We use our hands, we use our cubits, we use foot lengths, we use pace. In the absence of what our standard units of measurements, that's our rulers, our meter rule, and so. Now we have ordinal numbers. We said ordinal numbers are numbers that shows positions, right? Very good. Now it tells us about the exact place or position of thing in a list or sequence, like in a race. Now while when you are racing, who comes first? Yeah, I'm the one that is first, I'm second, and so that is ordinal number. Ordinal number tells you the position of thing or sequence. We have example here. We said we use them all the time, right? First position, second position, third position, and so on. Now you have questions in ordinal number. If Ali is in the number 2 position in the race, what is his ordinal number? Answer the question. Now we look at the next one, money. What is money? We have discussed money. I said money is generally acceptable, right? Money is used for buying and selling of goods and even paying for service. We said money is super important, very, very important. We all need money, right? Very good. Now it helps us to get all the things that we need and we want. We use it to buy things, we use it for payment of service and savings. We have the coins and we have notes. Which here in Nigeria we use different kind of money. We have the 10 naira, we have 20, we have 50 naira, 100 naira, 200 naira. We have so many and we listed them. Now money and its uses. What do you use money? That is a question for you. Please do answer that. Learning about land, measuring with ruler. Now we have all looked at most standard measures and we have looked at lengths, the standard units of measurement. Now we use ruler to measure. When you use ruler, we often measure in units called centimeter. And I showed you on your ruler the centimeter line. which helps us to exactly know how long an object is. Now, when you use your ruler, you make sure you start with what number 0 to get accurate number of measurements. Now you have practice, and we have practice all together in the class using our ruler. So with that, you would answer the questions that I have for you on the quiz time. Now let's see if you're measuring it. You're measuring it, sorry. What is the special units that we use to measure ruler? So you answer that. Is it in inches, centimeter, or meters? You get your answer there. And the same thing for the next one. You read your questions and you answer your questions and share them. Now the next one is add and subtract word problem. Now we have what problem tells us the story with numbers. Our job is to figure out if the number, if we need to add or subtract to find our answer. Now you're going to read the story. Before you do that, you read the story carefully. After reading that, you understand the problem. After doing that, the next thing is you are going to decide whether to add or to subtract. Are the things being put away? If they are being put together, if they are being put together, you know you're going to add. And if they are taken away, you know you are going to subtract. You calculate. After doing that, then you calculate and you solve. Now I have one question, an example for that. We said Amina has 9 candies and eats 6 of them. How many candies does she have left? Let's look at it. Now we said Amina has candies. For Amina's candies, we start with 9, that she has 9, and 6 are eaten. Now after eating 6 out of that 9, which means which means they are taken away. So we subtract 9 minus 6, which will give you us what? 3. When you take away you take away 6 from 9, you get 3. So Amina has 3 candies left. You have your quiz time, you have your quiz question, you read it and make sure you answer my quiz and share. Then the final challenge for this is you answer about Khalifa's toy. You read the questions and you make sure you answer. After reading carefully, you make sure you understand it and you try to think whether it's to add or to take away. Then we're going to discover counting and place values. We have counting numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in words and in numbers. Now place values tells us the exact place where our number is supposed to be, what this stands for, and the value of each number. Now we said look at the number. You're going to look at the example. We have number 45 is made of 4, 40 and 5, which means 40 stands for tens, 4 tens and 5 ones. That's 5 units. And that is when you're writing each value, it means 40 plus 5, which will give you 45. The same thing with 67. Now that is putting them in each value, putting them in their places. Now the next one, I have a quick challenge for you, which you answer. And another one again for you. And the last one for you, inshallah. And after this, we have the number bond. Number bond are numbers that tells us, number bond are super helpful. They are numbers that brings numbers together, right? Now, if we know that 7 plus 3 will give us 10, when you add up 7 plus 3 will give us 10. And that means if you minus 10 minus 3, it will still give you 7. So that means they are bonding together. The same thing is 10 minus 7, which will give you what? 7. So 7 plus 3, 10. We have so many numbers that will give us 3. When we get to these numbers, it tells us the relationship between the numbers and it makes math easier and more fun for us. We also have different numbers that will give us 10. Numbers that we can add up to give us 10. So I have a list for you. You add them up. Let's see if it really gives us what 10 that we need. Then I think that is all. I will be expecting your question, inshallah. Yeah, your questions. If you have any other questions, you ask at the section, at the comment sections. All my quiz answers, please make sure you solve them and you send them to the comment box with your name, inshallah. I'll be expecting and I will be waiting, inshallah. Thank you. Happy revision.